It has been 10 days since Tekken's most controversial patch. I mean, patching is already new to fighting games in general, right? But I put out a video 10 days ago on one of the most controversial decisions Bandai Namco has made in forever. Not only because of battle passes and monetization, but also by just the technical difficulties that have been happening in the last patch. So this is my video on it from before. If you want to get caught up, you can check that out. They have announced patch 1.0.3.02. You can see in the sidebar it's scheduled for April 16th release. That's 5 days from the day of recording. And it's great. It's good that they're making moves to do this kind of quickly. Although the community kind of feels like it's been a longer. Like it feels like it's been a longer time ago. But I guess people have been so obsessed with Tekken 8 and so excited to play it that any downtime feels really, really bad. So I'm not going to go through all the changes in super detail. Rather, I want to talk about some of the interesting changes and then highlight some remaining issues that need to be fixed. So first fix, Rage Art had an issue where you could still move. Activating the Rage Art didn't freeze your opponent. So check this out. This is a really, really funny clip. So Brawl Pro, another big YouTuber and streamer, definitely check out his stuff. Notice this issue. Oops, my bad. Where he's fighting Shaheen, and he does a crouch throw. So after this combo, he'll do a crouch throw while Shaheen does Rage Art. Right here. And he's still moving.
Wait. The crouch throw recovered that fast?
So he's like confused. Like, why was I able to move? What happened there? Pun Punch replied, showing the issue in action. When you do a crouch throw, when somebody Rage Arts, you can still move. Look at this again. He's punching. So the patch fixed this issue. The hot fix they are just putting out is fixing this issue, but there's other really funny clips about this too. Look at this. This is hilarious. Like, it looks so goofy because you're so used. Like, literally, I think if you do like a camera hack and activate Rage Art normally, I didn't see the rest of the clip. If you do a camera hack and activate Rage Art like this, it actually, I think it despawns one of the characters because they're not on screen to be rendered, right? So this is a big bug. I'm glad they fixed it. So it was just so weird to even see King on this. Yeah, see, he respawns into the game. It blows up the floor. Okay, so this issue's fixed. This issue's fixed. It's good. They have reverted. I love, by the way, I think any kind of reverting is usually awesome, right? It takes a lot of, as a developer, I think it's hard to openly just decide to revert something, right? So they decided to revert a change they made in order to fix tornado behavior. The whole video I showed before shows the entire scope of the issue. So definitely check out that video if you want to see it in detail. But yeah, tornadoes were just so inconsistent. It was so hard to do wall combos. Combos would randomly fail in areas that they were super consistent. And messing with combo muscle memory in less than when is Evo Japan? In like 2 weeks. Messing with combo consistency like less than 16 days, or I guess at the time of the patch 26 days right before a major tournament is a huge deal. That's a very big deal. So great that they reverted that for the sake of competition. Azusain is running 3. This is something I wish they would revert as well. But this change is also acceptable, I think. So there were issues where she would just fly right past you. Your sidesteps were not effective. They've basically increased the amount of recovery time. So I believe it's going to be easier to punish her now that she's going to be stuck recovering while you've sidestepped past her. Give you time to run up to her and get a hit. All right. Eddie had some heat dash issues. He was able to just do it. And then he had the bugged backdash where you could just tap forward and back and you'd get a Korean backdash. And then finally, Zafina's backdash was also fixed. So that covers it's a hot fix, not a big patch. Let's look at remaining issues. Stage hazards. So I believe the stage hazard change should be reverted entirely. I think it's very unclear when and it's active and when it's not, unless you are a sweaty pro player who really understands it. And even in those cases, it just visually doesn't make a lot of sense. I think people are going to be asking, why didn't it break? Why didn't it break over and over and over again? And to make matters worse, there is a bug that exacerbates this. So let me show you what the issue is and then I'll talk about it. So, Breadman, he tweeted, when the opponent uses a while standing kick fast after face down, you cannot break the floor. So currently, the implementation of this is this stage hazard fix is certain conditions turn off the stage hazard completely. Now, the issue is there are situations where that flag or that switch is being turned off unintentionally and is remaining off unintentionally. You'll notice how many times has Jack hit the floor here. There, finally we get the ground to activate. Look at what, so the conditions they're describing, I'm going to pause and show you. So that's fine. This kick. Look at King's position here. So this is the face down, feet away position, where he's face down and feet away. And if you tap up from this position and hit a kick button, you could do a quick while rising move or while standing move. Something about this condition turns off the stage hazard. And now you could see this should activate the floor break, like it should flash purple. But it doesn't. And every time you do this, it remains that way. The only way to change this is by getting up a different way. So I believe in this last example, there, he does a different get up kick. This is not a while rising kick from the face down position. This is just the standard get up mid kick. And now that he chose a different get up option, the floor break activates. Okay, there's a more clear example next. Dusty Eel, it's a funny name, also demonstrates this here. So he's piloting Leroy. He's the Leroy on the left, okay? He recorded the bot to do these options. So now he's going to do this get up kick, the face down, feet away, get up 4. Right? And now when the bot hits him, no floor break on this ground pound because of that wake up option turning off the flag. One more time. He does the get up kick here. Now he's controlling the Leroy on the right. No ground pound. Second example here, it also applies to the wall breaks. So here's the get up kick. Right? This get up kick will turn off the switch. Now he's controlling the Leroy on the left. And he does this wall break combo. And Leroy is no longer in the grounded state, but it still does not break. This is a huge bug. Obviously, competitors will be able to adjust, but it doesn't make a lot of sense. Finally, Yagami, a player from Oceania, has also demonstrated a case where it shows up. He found extra detail that doing a get-up attack within 10 to 14 frames is specifically how it deactivates. In addition, Dusty Eel noted this as well. It also applies to the unique floor getup. So Elisa has a getup where she can just fly into the air. The bears have their grounded hits. Dragunov can crawl off the ground. Law even has like a floor taunt. There's a lot of off the ground stance changes or unique getups, and these also deactivate the stage hazards. So here's a demonstration. This breaks the floor normally. Reyna's throw. Dragunov does his. Oh, that's Dragunov. This is Brian doing. While standing 3 from that grounded position, and then it turns off the stage hazard as expected. Here's an example of the bear doing just the unique getup. So the unique getup in question, this throw should break the floor, so this is unrelated, but this is the unique getup attack. That's what it looks like. Bears can attack you off the ground. Just a visual demonstration. Now it does reset per round, so after the round ends, that flag is turned on and off again, but yeah, until they choose a different wake-up option, they are able to basically gain invulnerability to the floor break. Now, given they're sacrificing it on their end too, but this is definitely competitively questionable. Okay. Last thing, character balance. We see in the patch notes there's no mention of character balance, and everybody in my chat is like, why haven't they buffed Steve yet? Why haven't they nerfed Dragunov yet? And you guys might disagree with me here, but I think this is okay. I like the idea of when it comes to balance patches, giving the meta time to settle. Now, undoubtedly, characters are ridiculously overtuned. There's no doubt that Dragunov and Fang are top 2, completely overpowered compared to the rest of the cast. There's no doubt that Steve is pretty weak. I'm a Steve player. I like Steve. He's pretty weak, okay? However, it is month 2.5. This is the 2.5 month of a brand new Tekken with no arcade release, no nothing. I think it is okay to let them continue to figure things out. Now, what I would like is if they do start implementing patches, start implementing some nerfs, right? Tone down the top tiers, see how everybody interacts with the new systems. That is something I'd be really excited to see. But adding buffs at this stage of the game where people still don't have the game figured out, Tekken is a really hard game, you guys. Like, I don't think you understand that at the top level, learning a new main character requires years of experience. That is why you would see veterans in Tekken 7, even though we had broken characters like Fakuram, Kunimitsu, obviously Release Leroy was an exception, but there were good characters like Julia, like Noctis was really good, Steve was really good. You would see the top pros go back to their Dragunov comfort pick, right? Go back to Brian as their comfort pick because they just have years of intuition and experience on these characters. And that is the kind of depth that Tekken demands. Years of experience to actually be pro, top level, playing your best, making plays, right? Shadow 20Z is a great example. He was great at having a character ocean. He would pick Zafina, Anna, Kazuya. But when it came time for him to make plays, he would go back to Claudio and you could see the difference. He was a playmaker on Claudio, right? Like he was very strategically solid on these other characters. He goes on Claudio and he's gaming, okay? So I like the idea of not making too many character changes early on into the game like this because the game takes so much time to sink in, right? Now, one exception again I mentioned is nerfs are really good. And one thing I also think is these system balance changes, right? I think the system balances fall into the same realm. System mechanics, I should say, should also stay stable. I think they should be really careful about doing all of these stage hazard changes, these tornado changes, the tornado change was unintentional, right? Stage hazard changes, heat dash changes. A lot of these systems are they're just as deep or like intuition based as the character balance. And when you change a system mechanic, it changes all the characters at once, rather than if you tweak one character, it's isolated, right? I think both changes are also very sensitive, or both styles of changes are very sensitive. And I understand why they're doing system changes. I think the rationale most people are leaning towards, they haven't said this explicitly, but most people think that if you change the system mechanics, you're not directly nerfing a character, so it's easier for the player base to not be as upset. If that is the true rationale for why they're doing it, then that makes sense. But it's so scary to make these kinds of huge changes. So I'm a very hands-off kind of patch person. I think that if there's an egregious problem, Dragunov Fang, maybe introduce a few nerfs. But they've clearly stated, the development team, that they want to wait for the EVO Japan tournament to play out first before they make balanced decisions. And I truthfully agree with that. I can agree with that philosophy. Yes, we're seeing objectively big problems, but the development team has to deal with a lot of noise from pro players, casual Twitter fans, Reddit demons. You know, there's a lot of noise. Their internal playtest team, there's a lot of noise and data to sift through. So I can understand the idea of waiting for competition. What I would like to push back on is these technical issues can't be casually introduced. And these are the results of these system mechanics changes that were kind of rushed, right? I think that the system mechanics should be treated just as carefully, if not more carefully, than character balance. Okay. And introducing these bugs right before a major tournament where sponsors are coming out, there's prize money on the line, players are flying out, they're spending a lot of money. This is tough. So I would urge the team to have a bit more, I would hope that they would have a bit more care when it comes to releasing patches that just truthfully do not have enough testing behind it. That is the bottom line, is this patch got released without enough testing. These are huge system changes, and these issues are very, very big. That said, I do still love Tekken 8. I really enjoy the game. What they have as a base product has a lot of potential. If they were to have just reverted this patch, added Eddie, and fixed these backdash issues, I would have loved this patch. I think it would have been fantastic, right? But the bugs are a big problem. Thank goodness they're starting to fix them. This hot fix is, I'm looking forward to these next 5 days and getting my combos back. And I hope they identify ways to handle these other issues, the stage hazard bug and the system mechanics issues, come EVO Japan and beyond. So hopefully you enjoyed that video. please leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more. This is my little preaching for the day. Only 40% of people are subscribed, so it would help me a lot if you were able to subscribe to my content and see some more. That's all I have for you today. Catch you in the next one. Peace.